A long time ago, the people of Israel, God's people, also called the Israelites, were terrified. What? You see, living right next door to them were some very mean people named the Midianites, who wanted to attack them and destroy everything they owned.
Square up.
The Israelites were living without food or shelter and were scared. Oh, I am both hungry and frightened. But God had a big plan for them. He chose a man named Gideon to help the Israelites. Gideon wasn't super big and strong, and he didn't have special fighting superpower abilities. In fact, Gideon was just a regular guy. But God knew that Gideon was the right person for this very important task. One day, an angel appeared to Gideon. Whoa, are you okay? Are you kidding? That felt amazing. Finally, got that itch on my back. Anyway, hey, Gideon, God wants you to help defeat the Midianites and save Israel. Whoa, me? I think you've got the wrong guy. I'm just a regular guy. In fact, I'm less than that. I'm the smallest in my family. Like I was saying, God is with you, mighty warrior. Shoot, well now that you say that, let's do this. So Gideon trusted God and gathered a bunch of people to make an army of 32,000 men and started marching toward the Midianites. But suddenly, right mid-marching, the Lord stopped Gideon and told them,
"Send home any men from your army who are afraid."
So then, 22,000 men dropped their swords and ran, leaving Gideon with just 10,000 people in his army to fight the bad guys.
Square up.
Gideon and his army once again began marching to battle, and once again, God stopped Gideon and told him,
"Take your soldiers to the river for a drink. Keep those that use their hands to drink, and send home the ones that do not."
Well, only 300 used their hands as a bowl to drink the water, while the rest went on their knees and put their faces in the river. So Gideon had only 300 warriors to face the Midianite army of 135,000. Talk about some bad odds.
Really bad odds.
But Gideon was not afraid because he knew what the angel had told him, that God would be with him. Even though he didn't feel like a mighty warrior, he believed what God had said about him and trusted him, even facing death. So when the Midianites were sleeping, Gideon and his men quietly surrounded the camp, each holding a torch and a trumpet. Gideon gave the signal, and the men held up their torches, sounded their trumpets, and yelled. They scared the Midianites so bad that they jumped up from their beds and just started fighting each other. So Gideon and his men stood back and watched as the Midianites completely destroyed themselves. Gideon was able to lead his men and the rest of the Israelite people to victory because he trusted God and what God said about him, that he was a mighty warrior.